Welcome back into the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort heading to Charlotte.
Halfway through the chase after this race, my friend.
North Kakalaki. No Dale Earnhardt Jr., though.
His championship dreams officially over.
Not that they were very alive.
Yeah, look, you got to be smart with this stuff.
Look, Ricky Craven told Matt Crossman of Sporting News, Junior should just sit out the rest of the year.
In a way, I agree, and I'm sure they will reevaluate before putting him back in the race car. But no Dale Earnhardt Jr. for this race. It is a shame, because this was a track I think he could have run very well at.
I wasn't going to pick him anyway.
I wasn't going to pick him, but I tell you what, if you look at his teammates, you've still got Kasey Kahne, Jimmie Johnson, and Jeff Gordon in the chase, all with a shot. And Jeff's the longest of those, but they could all run well here, and I think it's a big opportunity for Kasey Kahne.
None of those guys would be bad picks at this track. Although, if you look at Jimmie's
Johnson, average lately has not been
since
good.
His last win in the fall race of 2009, he has just one top 10 finish at Charlotte. And remember, he won 4 in a row here at one point in his career.
And even including that win, the last 10 races, his average finish is like 18.
Yeah, so it's not that Jimmie. See, what happened is when this was Lowe's Motor Speedway, there was a symbiosis between Jimmie and the track.
I know.
Once Lowe's naming rights went away,
but I'll tell you something.
Jimmie's ability to run well here went away.
I think they overthought themselves a little bit in the 600 because they had a car in the All-Star race that was just way better than anybody else's, and they decided to bring another car. I think they overthought themselves a little bit. It wouldn't be surprising to me to see Jimmie in very dominant form here.
Well, because the All-Star race was at night, this is also a night race, so there might be a little bit more translation from that car to this, even though
it's cooler now.
You need to set up a longer run car here than you would in the All-Star race.
Yep.
Still, Jimmie Johnson.
It's cooler now also. Track's a little different.
Yeah, there are very few tracks where you can't pick Jimmie Johnson.
That's true. I like Jimmie. I think Kasey Kahne is I think this is sort of his now. I think Kasey Kahne, this is a big moment for him. If he's going to be a factor, he's still in the mix a little bit, he's got to make a move. But I like the top 4 in this race. I like Denny Hamlin in this race. I like Brad Keselowski in this race.
Well, Denny Hamlin has never won at Charlotte, but he has top 10s 50% of the time. And remember, it hasn't been that long that he has found his sort of
downforce
mojo. Yep. He had that breakthrough the year before he was vying for the championship towards the end of that season on these downforce tracks. So it's still relatively new that he is competitive on these downforce tracks. So the fact that he hasn't won at Charlotte isn't a big, red flag to me.
Well, and the other part of it is, if you look at his teammate Kyle Busch, he's been extraordinarily good here at Charlotte in the last 10 races. I think 70% of the time he's finishing in the top 5. So that speaks well to the Gibbs package at the racetracks. I do think Denny Hamlin will be in contention for the win. Brad Keselowski qualified, I think, 20th. So that's a little bit further back for him. But I think this is a place where he can run very well. That team is very confident, I would think.
What's interesting is looking at the Roush Fenway cars because Greg Biffle qualified on the pole. Right? Now, this was a track you would think of as a Carl Edwards track. He's very good here, but he hasn't shown up this season. Roush Fenway in general hasn't been terribly strong this season on these downforce tracks, even though this was their bread and butter for so many years. You don't know what package, which cars they're going to show up with. Are they going to show up with the old Roush Fenway downforce package that was always very strong? Or are they going to show up with the 2012 version?
Well, when you say the old package, you mean the old performance, not necessarily the old package, because I think what Greg Biffle has said, and we said it at the beginning of the chase, we said it feels like this team, these cars have fallen behind, and Biffle said it himself. We've fallen behind. We've been working very hard to catch up. You don't know right now if the pole is an indication that they've found something, because it's just one fast lap. You're going to have your car set up for a nice long run here and be fast at the end of that run. We're going to see a lot of green flag racing. Track position is going to be important. So, that's what we have to look for from the Roush cars. Not one fast lap, but a series of 40.
All right, so who do you like? Pick one guy. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Kasey Kahne in this race. I think this is his moment. This is his time to step out and win a race.
Is this his now?
It's his now, baby.
That's interesting because I was leaning towards Jeff Gordon because I picked Jeff Gordon last week and he owes me. And he has been so consistent and so strong in this chase. But then again, Denny Hamlin, I think, is starting to feel a little bit of pressure. Not that he has to turn it up. I don't think it's been turned down.
Right.
But, he needs to go out and he needs to make up some points. He's still within reach.
No, I think Denny's a very good pick here.
But if that gap gets any wider, pretty soon the championship is going to be out of his hands. So I think this is a race where he needs to narrow that points gap instead of let it widen yet again. So I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin.
There you go.
All right, that's Tom. I'm Steven. Thanks for watching.